Over the years, there have been many journals that I didn't finish, and many journals that I did. I'm going to use all of my years of experience journaling to finally build a system that works for me that I'll be able to use throughout the year to help me be more productive, stay off my phone, and enjoy some relaxing scrapbooking. Hello spooky people, it is Lilith and welcome back to my channel. Let me show you what we're starting out with. Last year, I started a Filofax style planner and didn't keep up with it, but it will serve as a great base for my 2026 planner. With the initial setup I did on this planner, some things worked and other things didn't. I'm really happy with how some of the decorative pages turned out and will be using those for the new setup. I used to catalog my tarot readings in here, but I'm going to move those pages to a different notebook in the future. One issue I had was procrastinating on setting up my calendar pages. It doesn't take that long to write out all the numbers, but I live a pretty active lifestyle and don't always have time to sit down and do that. That issue is the first thing I'll be addressing. As opposed to filling the numbers out month by month, I'm doing the whole thing now. Then, when the month approaches, all I have to do is decorate, which is the part I actually enjoy. Another part of the prep is covering the top with sticker paper. Instead of using the generic days at the top, I want to experiment with different fonts to add personality to these spreads. Here you can see me testing out tissue, markers, and pens to make sure they don't eat through the paper and don't add too much bulk to the page. One of the greatest additions to my scrapbooking arsenal is this sticker printer. I use the HP Sprocket 2" by 3" printer. I have a pretty impressive collection of sticker books that I've curated over the years, but having the ability to print off custom stickers really adds to the uniqueness of each spread. Sometimes I use the whole page to print off Polaroids of my friends and I. I decided to cover the tops of the pages with acrylic markers. These are really great. They go on opaque and they're easy to write on top of. I'm only including 2 months at a time inside of this journal. This book also serves as my wallet, and I can't make it so bulky that it doesn't close. Now I'm going through and adding the days of the week to the top of the calendar. I like to scroll through Pinterest to find different fonts. I'll link my planner board down in the description of this video if you want to check out my inspo. This is my favorite part, assembling all of the stickers. I try to make the pages look full but not cluttered, leaving plenty of room to write notes. I also have a sizable collection of washi tape, though honestly I wish I had more. I find them very helpful for filling out spaces. I also like the look of layering stickers on top of them. When I get stumped on a design, I make another pass through my stickers. Sometimes all it takes is that one perfect sticker to pull the whole aesthetic together. I source them mostly from Michaels. I also find some on the web. These small stickers were actually one of the last things I bought from Joann Fabrics. R.I.P. our girl. The final touch to these spreads were pressed botanicals. I incorporate these in all of my artwork. I love the vintage vibe that they evoke. In general, I'm a big fan of mixed media. I love adding different textures to things. I do this by adding a layer of glue, pressing the botanical firmly into it, covering with more glue, and trimming the excess from the bottom. I use the front page of my journal to represent whatever it is I'm currently manifesting or enjoying in my life. I found these whimsical tile designs on Pinterest, and they really inspired this spread. Lately, I've been fond of cooking, especially soup during this cold weather. I tried to translate that into this spread by giving it a cozy kitchen vibe. If you've watched my videos before, you may have noticed that I use a similar color palette for practically everything I do. I really enjoy purple, green, brown, cream, and black together. Maybe in the future I should try to challenge myself artistically by working with other color palettes. It's just really hard because that one always hits for me. I pulled from some of my favorite sticker books to create the focal point for this page. Every Halloween, I try to get my hands on at least one from Michael's collection. I'm sure other alternative scrapbookers can relate to the struggle of there only being one time a year to buy stationery that fits your aesthetic in stores. I love this cauldron sticker. I imagine this is the cauldron that I make my soup in. The final detail to this page is a piece of vintage lace. I used double-sided fashion tape to attach it. I wanted to experiment with trims and other materials for my planner this time. I think different textures can really add to the design. Online, I've seen other people do this with their Filofax, and it influenced me. You'll see more of this when I decorate the cover. If you've made it this far, I expect you're enjoying the video. If you are, please leave a like. It really helps my humble channel grow. I'm a big fan of this scrapbook paper. It has all my favorite colors in it. I try to not use too much scrapbook paper in this journal because it adds bulk. However, when I found this Raven page, I knew it was perfect for my to-do list divider. I'm just using black acrylic marker here to fill in where the paper won't cover. I went heavy with the glue to adhere these because these pages are going to be handled a lot. I bought these tab dividers online with a big set of filler pages for my size journal. These letter stickers were perfect to fill in the space. One unappealing issue I want to remedy is that I can see the backside of the calendar pages that aren't being used yet. I taped the back of this to a divider to cover it. The lace I used is from 1974. I find that secondhand materials can add a lot of character to a project. I'm using fabric tape once again to adhere this down the front cover. I use this tape to attach all of the trinkets. In the past, decorations I've added have fallen off into my bag, and I wanted to make sure everything was more sturdy this time. I've been using my journal for a couple of weeks now, and I haven't had any issue with the ephemera coming off. Charms and appliques can also serve as great ornamentation. When experimenting with UV resin, I created this fairy cameo with a silicone mold. I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for, but it made the perfect centerpiece for this cover. One of my favorite details is this chain with charms. I assembled this with typical jewelry making techniques. Stay tuned for a video on that soon. I used a large charm to anchor it to the card slots and a lobster claw to attach it to the binder rings. Some of the charms hang from the inside and some from the outside. This gives a coherent appearance whether the journal is opened or closed. I also used an embossed leather tag to add another texture. The final addition was this spooky moon sticker. Let's go through the whole thing and I'll show you some of the details I added off camera and explain how I use my journal. I'm very pleased with how the front cover turned out. To me, the composition feels balanced, though I expect that this is one thing I may edit over time. I believe it could use even more ornamentation. I'm a maximalist through and through. I tried to capture the spirit of this chapter of my life with the cover page. As a very spiritual person, I look for little ways to keep things I'm manifesting front of mind. As I've been very busy lately, enjoying the solace of my home has been an important part of my life. This kitchen witchery inspired spread speaks to that. Throughout the year, I plan to change this out with whatever is speaking to me spiritually at that time. I also see this as a great spot to put ephemera that I pick up over my adventures. This key I created previously helps me keep my calendar entries brief. The sections for each day are small, so this shorthand is really helpful. The inspirations for my January calendar were varied. The color green is often associated with growth and prosperity, two things I hope this year will be full of. Medieval motifs and little creatures made an appearance, of course. My favorite detail has to be the 4-leaf clover. I've been feeling very lucky lately. February carries more of a Victorian vibe. Since filming, my calendar has already filled out a lot. It's been satisfying seeing all of the events I have to look forward to. These two pages that I created previously, I had never paired together. They match so perfectly. In this section, I've since added a detailed diagram of my class schedule. While I will miss seeing my tarot readings in this journal, it wasn't the most practical thing in practice. This has become the most high-traffic area in my journal. Since I've been using it, I've already filled out multiple pages of to-do lists. The little dopamine hit that I get from checking things off definitely helps me be more productive. I created this divider from a postcard. It serves as the cover to my weekly gratitude. It makes me think of how all the little things are what makes us happy. On the other side, I have photos of my friends and family. Every week, when I write down one thing that I'm grateful for, seeing them here makes me smile. I used to fill this out daily, but for my lifestyle, this wasn't practical. Instead of getting rid of the practice altogether, I made a compromise. Obviously, I keep my cash in this envelope, which is usually overflowing because I work in the service industry. Regardless of what kind of wallet I have, though, that's always an issue. One of the things I added off camera was this piece of tassel trim. I also bought this secondhand and had just enough to add some here. Now that we've parsed through that, I'd like to share with you why I felt called to pick journaling back up in our current day and age. Some people may have the self-control to just put the phone down, but without app timers, the doom scrolling eats up so much of my time. I find it incredibly irritating that when I pick up my phone to go through my notes app, and I'm bombarded with notifications that steal my attention away from what I was actually trying to do. Having my to-do list and calendar built into this journal has really helped me avoid distractions. They are built to be distracting. The algorithms are built to be addicting. It's endearing that now many people are looking towards analog technology, journaling, and spending more time with people in real life. I just want to use technology as a tool to share my art with people. In the 3 weeks that I've been using this planner, it feels like I've gotten back part of my life. And it doesn't hurt that it's cute to look at. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and it inspired you to do some of your own plannering and journaling. I've been working on scrapbooking, different projects like this for many years now, and I'm really glad that I finally get to share it with you. If you enjoy this kind of content, whether that's Gothic things, creative things, stick around and join our spooky community that we have here. I'd really love to see you stay. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.